Have a look at the lineup. We're touching the all-weather track for the first time on this 11-race card. Race 2, Class 5, 1200. Acturiot and Sky Treasure both getting the drop in grade. The greatest went better last start. And we moved down to Lerpa Gas, who was third behind You Have My Word over the mile, coming back in trip. And then Carry to Win, who's knocking on the door for a victory. Rainbow Gold, the lowest rated galloper there, on 18.
OK, here's the speed map. Happy Sound is a pretty regular leader, or certainly prominent runner, so I expect him to go forward, along with Catch Me If You Can and Sky Treasure, who's got a pretty good record when he drops into this grade, just lurking in behind.
Sky Treasures hasn't trialled very well recently, actually. I've been a little bit disappointed with his trials, but he has been downgraded, so that's obviously something in his favour. I thought I'd show his work, because if you did see those trials, you'd be a little bit concerned. His work's been OK, but you can just see it's being kept up to it a little bit, so that's a little bit of a problem. Carry to Win, the next one, we'll have a look at as well. He's been going pretty well recently. Joe Moreira will take them out, so he's jumping aboard at the right time. Carry to Win as well. So just the two bits. Yeah,
not a lot to look at. It's Class 5 company, isn't it? So we'll push on. Carry to Win's the horse we'll focus on. Now, he did finish second here, Paul. Trendiful ran third. 5 Stars Agent was a winner prior to this. Happy Sound's a jump and run horse. But Carry to Win is knocking on the door.
Yeah, I liked him in this race. I did put him on top on this occasion, and I thought he'd run well. He did. He just couldn't quite pick up the winner. Now, they're all leading from the front on the dirt. Zach Purden won all 3 races from the front, and he came from the back, so he was against the trend as well. He does get back in his running, but I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Moreira sort of starts getting him rolling before the turn, and I think he can win the race.
Of the rest there, Trendiful got a lovely draw. He ran very well, but he's not quite as well drawn tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah. No, it's not easy, the Class 5. The greatest. Now, he ran his best race last start when finishing second behind Dragon Dance. This was, of course, on the turf. He comes onto the all-weather for the first time, and this will be his third run for Derek Cruz.
Yep, just take a while to come to themselves sometimes, these horses in Hong Kong, and this is a good example. He's no world beater, this fella, but he couldn't get out of his own way the first few runs here in Hong Kong. But his penultimate start was a little bit better, and this was far better. I mean, it's not a particularly strong race, don't get me wrong, but the first 2 are clear of the rest. He's hit the line well. He's got a decent draw, and I think he's a good place chance, definitely.
Yeah, I tend to think off the back of that you've got to consider him, but Class 5, Paul, never easy.
No. Well, I think Carry to Win can win. I'm sure Joe will get him running pretty early into the straight, and I really like him in this race. I've got him on top to beat Acturiot, the downgrader. He gets 10 pounds off of Victor Wong as well. Has trialled well on the surface. Fantastic Fabio is another one that does go well on the surface before, and he should get a good run from barrier number 5. And Trendiful, as you said, he's not drawn as well, but he'll get back, he'll be running on. So I mean 10, 1, 4 and 7, but I'll be playing the 10 to win.
Yeah, I'm going with a 10 on top as well. It was his all-weather debut last time out. It was a pretty encouraging performance, albeit at a low level, and I'm sure he can build on that. Sky Treasure, he's got some pretty decent form when he drops down to Class 5. He's drawn well as well. I think he can still go nicely. Trained by the king of the dirt, Mi Choi. The greatest in there for third, and Actuariat in there for fourth, who, a bit like Paul, I think can run a decent race at a price. 2 and 10, though, the QQP, the best play in that.
Fair enough, John. All right, we're going to take a break on Racing to Win. Back with more on the other side of this.